Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Yesterday, the FCT minister had his monthly media chat with some selected media houses. And during the media chat, a lot of issues were dealt with as it has to do with his personal life and also as it has to do with the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A lot of persons were dragged out. So many issues were discussed, especially as bordering on the coalition. And there was some person whom he took them out personally to the cleaners and the likes of Doyin Momodu. I mean, he made a caricature of them. But then, these persons also have decided not to allow the issue to rest. You're going to hear the position of Doyin Momodu as it has to do with what Wike said yesterday. ADC spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi did not allow Wike to rest. Also, he dragged the hell out of Wike. The bass was just everywhere. But first of all, let's look at what Doyin Momodu, chieftain of the People Democratic Party, has to replied Wike. And according to the news, the chieftain of the People Democratic Party, Doyin Momodu, has replied to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, for making a mockery of his presidential ambition. Wike yesterday, during a media chat with some selected media houses on Thursday, described Momodu as a boy, saying he does not even know his name. Wike's comment about Momodu may not be unconnected to Doyin Momodu's consistent criticism of the former Rivers State political antics. The veteran journalist had recently claimed that Wike cannot defect to the All Progressive Congress APC because he will lose his authority. In what appears as a response to the claim, Wike said, "There is this boy, they say he's a journalist. What's his name? He is big." When a journalist said Doyin Momodu, Wike added, "Okay, I don't remember all these names. He was never my friend. I ran for president, but he didn't get one vote." In response, Momodu, in a post via Instagram, attributed Wike's inability to remember his name to alcohol, saying, "I can confirm that too much alcohol can do things, dull the memory and get people emaciated." Responding to Wike's comment that he was unable to secure a single vote during the party's presidential primaries, Doyin Momodu added, "On elections, there is no difference between the person who wasted billions on seeking power and still lost and the one who spent nothing. They are both losers. The difference here is one is an uncultured local champion called Money Misroad, while the other is a decorous and refined global citizen surviving for content. We thought we could be of help, but fail because some souls are irredeemable." That was the position of Doyin Momodu. Some souls are irredeemable. We thought we could help, but some souls are irredeemable. Those were his last words. Now, Bolaji also, who felt slighted by Wike's comment on the ADC coalition, have this to tell Wike that he is jittery. According to him, he says, "Minister Wike is jittery. The African Democratic Congress has taken note of the virulent attacks launched on the various leaders of the coalition movement by Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Wike, in his media chat today. Without justifying this behavior that we find incompatible with the office of a federal minister, we believe Minister Wike could only descend to that level because of his mortal fear of a threat that the successful unveiling of the coalition of opposition political party constitutes to the government that he serves. We observe that if Minister Wike and the government that he serves had kept their promises to the Nigerian people, the coalition movement would not have been necessary and he would not have had a need to be so jittery. If Mr. Wike has paid the salaries of primary school teachers who have been on strike for several months, and if he had not treated FCT minister with so much contempt while he goes about commissioning White Elephant project running into billions of naira, he would have had no need to be afraid of the coalition. Mr. Wike claimed in his media chat that the coalition leaders are driven only by grievances. If we have any grievances, it is the way the government he is part of had driven majority of Nigeria into poverty and misery. We are aggrieved to see children of the poor unable to get education because he would not pay their teachers' salaries. We are aggrieved to watch the growing insecurity in the FCT that he so pretends. We are aggrieved that Mr. Wike had allowed himself to be used by the government he served to destroy one of the most powerful political parties in Nigeria, the PDP. But it is rather too late in the day to cry. The coalition movement belongs to the people of Nigeria who had been promised renewed hope but have been served renewed hopelessness. Therefore, no amount of terror against the leaders of the coalition could stem the tide of these popular movement. Bolaji Abdullah, he spokesperson of the coalition movement. This has triggered a lot of reactions from Nigerians, and let's just look at, some of the issues that were discussed there. Now, interestingly, as we are watching the game unfold, it's good we just talk about certain things that they emphasize on. I feel that the issue of, reflecting on this and that, for me, is not really important. I think we should be more focused on the issues. Talking about someone is dull, doesn't have the brain to remember and all of that, for me, it's really, really unnecessary. But however, it's important for us to realize that the essence of this coalition for most Nigeria is to rescue the country. Now, rescuing the country does not mean that a lion should be a part of the rescue of the sheep. A tiger should be a part of the rescue of the sheep, because we know their intent. If the sheep are rescued from the hyenas, to the lions, then we know that the sheep will not still survive, because the essence of the lion and the hyenas is to satisfy their hungry lust. You understand? So right now, Nigerians know the person they are targeting in this coalition. Don't forget that it took coalition some years ago for them to rescue Nigeria from the hands of PDP, which most Nigerians are really angry today that the worst is the case. But I think that of Bola Tinubu is going to the extreme, and that's why these politicians have decided to come together to do the needful. But who they hand over this presidential ticket to is what really matters. For me and for most Nigerians, the target is Peter Obi. That's where Nigerians are looking at. Now, first of all, the reason why most people have chosen Peter Obi is the fact that Peter Obi, amongst them, is the youngest and most active. Now, take a look at all those who have been in power. They have touched money. The likes of Amechi. Amechi has touched money real good. As much as he has thrown out the challenge, we are going to be looking at in our next video. He has thrown a challenge to Nigerians about so many things. But if you look at him, you notice that he's not empathic. He knows the lifestyle of politicians. He knows the key characteristics of a politician, that when they get a hold of power, they can't let it go. So he's been able to tell Nigerians this truth. But to say he's empathic enough to sit in that position, that is one thing you cannot accept. Nigerians cannot accept. Because unfortunately, despite all that is happening in the country, none of them are responding to it. But Peter Obi is always at the forefront of the battle, the forefront of the crisis. Now, you don't see him sitting behind the keyboard of his phone to reply certain things alone. He's always there. Crisis is happening here, you find Peter Obi here. The crisis here, you see him there. So, Nigerians, we know what we want. You don't need to tell us that those are gathering of old cunning politicians. We all know. But then, it takes, that level of host, that amalgamation for Nigeria to be rescued from, someone like Bola Tinubu and from APC. So, for me, the boss, they can continue, but let's be focused on one thing. What are we looking at as it has to do with, the